Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin from Florals.com, and today I have another process video for you all. This is another one for my DC album using my How to Kill a Kit with Style homemade kit for October. Been really loving this paper pad and I feel like I've already used so much of it up, and by so much of it I mean I think I've used 5, maybe 6 sheets out of it, which is pretty good for a couple layouts. And then there's some scraps to go along with that. So I'll be using some of those scraps today as well. And that's one of them right there, is that light gray paper, which is a scrap from one of the other layouts that I created. Really love this paper. It's bright and gray and has those little twigs on it. And these photos are actually from a trip that we took to DC when we visited the Renwick Gallery. It's a very small museum, free museum, and it was really nice. Quite crowded in some of the exhibits because some exhibits were only there for a limited time, but I highly recommend you check out this museum if you're in the DC area. They had this really cool installation on the ceilings in one of the galleries, and you can see it in the bottom photo. It's a bunch of like lattice cut papers in different colors and different styles, and they created these 3D shapes which actually mimic some of the tallest buildings in the world, like their cathedral ceiling sections of those buildings. So definitely worth a look. I'm not sure if that's there anymore. We did go last year. I think maybe it was this year. I really need to find the date for this layout, but you'll see that I'm doing a lot more stuff with my hands in this layout, and that's because this was actually a real-time process video for my patrons. They get real-time process videos every month, so if you're interested in that, definitely head over to my Patreon page, which I always have linked down below in case you're interested. I did pull out a paper punch for this layout, and you saw it right there. It's a new one that I got maybe a month ago, and it's great, other than it didn't work with the sticker paper that I had pulled out. I got one of the hearts to punch, but not the smaller section, which is fine. I know the punch will work on normal paper because I've used it on normal paper, but it does have trouble with thicker papers, especially with like a double layer like that. So definitely be aware of that. If you're trying to use it on things like that, you'll have to get the thicker punches, which they do make in a majority of their shapes and sizes. So I used one of the cut aparts from that 12 by 12 paper pad that says, I'm not 100% sure. I think it says live for now, and I tucked that into the top left. And you also saw me put some silver thin washi tape down the left hand side. I know Susanna wanted to know more ways to use thin washi tape, and it's definitely just a border piece for me. I don't often use it in any special way, but I figured I'd highlight that because she's asked about it, since I have a lot of thin washi tapes in my stash. Now I'm digging through to look for more items to build out this bottom cluster where I plan to put my journaling. I'm going to use a sticker journaling spot from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm also using a label from Pretty Little Studio as another journaling spot. So it's kind of like a combined journaling spot area. So with all the pointing I'm doing, I'm talking to my patrons. Again, that's over on Patreon, so sorry for all the finger dancing that you have to witness today. But I will be exploring my stash. Since this was a page kit, you figured I wouldn't have to struggle as much, but it was really hard this time. I don't know exactly why. I ended up going the wood veneer route, and it worked out really well for me. I picked out a camera, a heart, and then I actually find my title piece in there. I pull out a really old Heidi Swapp piece that says memory, and it's in a white color. And once I get to my words section, I'll figure that out. Except I take out like all the other words first because it was like at the bottom. So it looks pretty white on camera, but it's actually quite splotchy, and I thought about trying to paint it, but to be honest, I know I won't really care, especially if it's the wood veneer color coming through, since I use that color other places. It wouldn't bother me as much. So now I'm kind of getting overwhelmed with all the loose pieces I have and decide I need to glue down these photos. I tried to figure out what date they were, but the dates that were on the back weren't the actual dates we went. At least I think they weren't. It said February 20th, and I don't know if we would have went. We might have went in February. I know it was cold. We were wearing our winter jackets, but I'm not 100% sure if that was this trip or if that's just when I got the photos printed. So, not 100% sure. But I pull out my T-square ruler because my photos were not looking pretty straight. I'm usually not a huge T-square ruler fan. I know I've been pulling it out lately, but I'm usually not a big fan of it unless I'm doing card making or putting down a title. I don't usually use it for my actual elements on a page like my photos or my layering, but this time I felt like it was necessary. I don't know why. And it's a very modular page, I will say that. There's not too many organic shapes, or everything's pretty boxy, in other words. My journaling's boxy. My embellishments are small, so they don't give that feel of being uniquely shaped. But I'm using these Simple Stories stickers. I have silver foil, and I also have some colored ones I pulled out, which are in that perfect peachy pink color. And yeah, those are from the Life in Color collection, and that peachy pink matches this paper pad perfectly, which I love. And I do pull out the Carpe Diem, the Reset Girl stickers, but I don't end up using any of those, although they would have looked great. I just didn't pull them out for this one. Here's where I start gluing down my journaling bits. Like I said, a little tag, making a little weird cluster there. And I definitely could have moved my title down. I know it's going to create this awkward spacing, but I don't mind it. It's okay. You have to have white space somewhere. I might as well put it in the middle of my cluster. And in my Patreon video, I talk about more about why I did that and the clustering. So again, I'll have that link down below in case you guys are interested. I do pull in one more little piece of wood veneer to complete my visual wood veneer triangle. And that's just a little asterisk piece. I originally wanted to use a geotag, but then I forgot my geotags are only in a chipboard dark wood grain color, not the actual wood veneer wood grain color, so I kind of had to omit that idea. Here I pull out a thicker that would have worked just fine, except it's too large. So definitely had to put those back and look for a tinier option that would fit. The other word I'm trying to spell is museum, which is a unique word. I figured Museum Memory is kind of a unique title. It's not super great. It could have been better. But at least I'm mixing and matching in fonts, which is part of the Patreon challenge for October. I host monthly challenges over there where I give away a prize to anyone who, well, I'll give away one prize to the people who participate, so one random winner every month. And it's really fun. So this month we're mixing and matching fonts, which of course is something I love to do, so I'm really glad I got to do it on this layout. Even though one font I didn't get to pick, it was just, I couldn't change the word memory, it's just going to be that font. But I really like how this one turned out. Since I did bring in this darker title element, and although there are darker elements in my photos, I definitely want to pull in some more darker elements into my clustering. So once I glue down my title, I'm going to start looking for something to bring in that other color. It's definitely not black, it's definitely more of a dark gray, but I figured it's close enough to black and there's enough black in my photos that if I brought in black, it would look fine. So that's what I decided to do. I pull out some Spiegel Mom scrap sequins, which I have a ton of, but I found the perfect mix right off the bat called 50 Sock Hop, and I'll have it linked down below, and don't forget to use my code if you visit Spiegel Mom Scraps, which is Caitlin15 for 15% off your total order, which is absolutely amazing. Even I love that coupon. You gotta love a good coupon. So now I'm just going to sprinkle around these pinks and black pieces and glue them into place. Now another element that I decided to include, so originally I had wood veneer as a visual triangle, and now I'm adding a sequin as a visual triangle. So by using these black sequins, it helps the eye move around the page to these pinpoints of different elements that are happening. So I have a small cluster off to the bottom left, the large title and journaling cluster off to the right, and then I have the top left cluster, which is like a medium sized. But that's pretty much it for this layout. I'm just going to talk a little bit to my patrons now. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know if you like these DC layouts, if you want to see more multi-photo layouts. If you'd like real-time process videos, definitely check over on my Patreon for more information. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!